Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain Free You. Today's topic, you gotta live it to learn it. I'll get to that in a second, but let's kind of take a look around. Beautiful greenery. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. It's a gorgeous 85-degree day today. A little breezy. It's Saturday, so you'll see this video on Sunday morning. Just got done presenting at Nicole's weekend online digital workshop, and that was a lot of fun. Take a couple of deep breaths. Relax. Breathe in the smiles and confidence. Breathe out the stress. So today's topic is going to be, you got to live it to learn it. And essentially, I know a lot of my teachings can be somewhat at the cognitive, teach. Here's how the brain works. Here's what pain does. Here's the process. You got to do this, that, and that. And intellectually, it's really easy to get it, right? Okay, Dan, that makes sense. Got it. Thanks, watch the video. And then you come back the next day and watch the video, and I give you more explanations, more cognitive, intellectual, here's how you do it. But I will absolutely say that learning some of these concepts which I teach is great, and that's a great starting point, learning what TMS is. But the assessment and the acceptance of the fact that you've got TMS is something you've got to kind of go through, and you're not going to like read something and automatically go, yep, perfectly understandable, I've got TMS, I'm never going to look back. For a little while you're going to have some doubts, and so keep on watching videos, read some of the success stories, go to Pain For You group, and there's a search bar within the group, and search for success story, and you will find a bunch of them, right? But keep on learning. Listen to some of the podcasts out there. Eddie Lindenstein, Nicole Sachs. Watch some of their videos. Watch my stuff. And over time you will gain a little bit more understanding. And your resistance to this thing called TMS, or your acceptance, your resistance to accepting that TMS is at cause, will get less and less and less as you start learning more and more and more. And more importantly, connecting the dots for your life. Meaning, as you start to live through your life and understand TMS more, you're going to start going, well, I had a day where my symptoms were pretty good when I went out to visit X, Y, and Z, and I kind of got out of my head. And so, well, how would that happen if it was structural, right? So we're living these experiences as we're applying this new knowledge, and that's really when the learning becomes really more meaningful to us. And so then we start to, undertake a process of feeling our emotions. And at first we're kind of like going through the motions, and we're like, all right, I'm supposed to feel. And sometimes we can like intellectually think ourselves through this feeling process. Well, I know I'm angry at my mother, so I'm angry. And we're like thinking, I should be angry because this, but are we truly feeling it? Are you living that experience, that anger? Or are you just kind of thinking your way through it? Are you soothing yourself? Or are you just kind of going through the motions, right? Are you sitting outside, breathing deeply? Are you truly calming down your nervous system, right? And Lisa Schlossberg on Nicole's presentation a couple of minutes ago said, really connecting herself with her body was through her breath. And so as much as possible, start paying attention to your breath. And if you're in stress and fight or flight, notice where your breathing is. If it's shallow and quick, you're probably in stress. If it's nice and relaxed and deep, and your abdomen is expanding, and you're getting a nice full calm breathing going, you're probably getting out of the stress mode. And so you gotta live that to learn it. And so you can intellectualize, yeah, I got to soothe myself. That makes sense. I'm going to do that. But if you're trying to soothe yourself and your mind is racing 100 miles an hour over all the catastrophic, fear-based, I'm going to have symptoms for the rest of my life, you're not living it. You're kind of going through the motions, right? And then the mindset, you're like, yeah, I know I don't care about it, but yet you're watching the calendar. Every time the pain spikes, you freak out. You get really angry, despondent. And then you say, well, I've got the, I don't care. I have the mindset of indifference, but, you know, you're proving it wrong by not living that way. Living with indifference is to really go, oh shit, heavy day for symptoms, whatever. Let me see how much fun I can have today. And actually then going and doing that, living that. Because you can say it, but if you don't live it, you're not going to really learn deeply what indifference feels like. And for anybody who says, I can't get to indifference, it hurts too much. Okay, again, return to knowledge. What is TMS? Return to the acceptance that TMS is causing your symptoms. And with that, when you truly know that you've got this thing called TMS, you can turn down the dial on the fear. And when the fear is down, you can literally say, well, I'm not afraid of it. And so, whatever. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, but whatever. How much fun can I have today? What do I need to do today? Who do I want to connect with today? Can I have some fun with whomever? Friends, family, yourself even. Just learn to love being by yourself. I live by myself. I'm by myself easily 90% of the time, you know? And with this COVID thing, probably 99% of the time. I saw very few people over the past several months. Learn to like yourself enough to enjoy your own company, because I know there's many of you out there who are living alone, who feel like you don't have any social contacts, family members, and that's legit and real, and I understand that. But you can either sit alone and ruminate on how bad your life sucks because you're alone, or you can learn to love yourself and care for yourself and self-care and find things that you like to do and stop living in the negatives and start living the possibilities. And so if you want to learn how to love yourself, you've got to live it. And love is a verb. I will say that much. Yes, love is a feeling, but love is a verb. If you find that you don't love your spouse, are you doing the opposite of love in the way you are acting and behaving and treating them? Or are you acting in a very loving way? Kind, considerate, compassionate, affectionate, whatever, right? And so love is a verb. Are you loving yourself? Or are you just ruminating on all the things that are wrong with you and kind of hating on yourself? So all of these lessons which we want to learn as a part of getting ourselves out of these symptoms, intellectualizing it, watching a video, saying, boy, that makes sense. Good job, Dan. Reading books, intellectualizing it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I read Steve-O's book. I read Nicole's book. I read Dr. Schubner's book. I read Sarno's books. Yep, all that stuff makes sense to me. But until you actually live it and experience it and feel it for yourself, it's just words on a page. It's just words coming out of a video screen. And so I will strongly encourage you to start putting this stuff into practice and start living these things. And you will find that when you start living these things, the lesson and the things you're learning and the teaching your brain that you're actually safe in your body and safe with your emotions, when you start living as if you're safe, the brain gets it a lot quicker than if you just read somebody or listen to me telling you, you're actually safe. Great, Dan, thanks, but I don't feel it. When you start to live that way and act as if you are safe, all right, it's going to sink in. You're going to get that lesson deeply. So, what do you guys think? You got to live it to learn it. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, please join. If you have not subscribed on YouTube, please search for Pain For You channel You'll find it. Subscribe there. If you've not done any of the self-assessments, go to painforyou.com, watch the video, and then opt in to get the assessment. Go to go to yourpaintest.com. That's a pain test you can take to help you determine if you've got TMS. ppdassociation.org/symptoms. That is another assessment. You know, dig in, do this stuff. You got to live it. Don't just read about it. Reading books is not the answer. Watching videos is not the answer. You've actually got to implement the things that you're learning. You got to live it to learn it. So anyway, guys, love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video tomorrow. See ya.